Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're in a new location, but we're still in Arkansas. We're flying at a railroad bridge that's over a road bridge that's over a small flowing stream. It's a pretty cool area. The stream is beautiful. The railroad bridge has lots of trusses and things to fly through. It's a pretty cool spot, so let's go check it out. Today I'm flying the ProTek35 again, but it is no longer my only drone. I just recently finished a 5-inch build. This is a Apex dead cat frame. I'm really excited to show it to you guys, but today we're just flying the ProTek35. Of course, I'm filming on the same GoPro 10 with the broken screen. I'm sending it in actually like tomorrow, so this will probably be my last video for a couple weeks until I get a new one back. So I just bought 4 new batteries. I'll be flying on these batteries today. As I talked about in my previous videos, the other batteries are kind of reaching the end of their life. They're not lasting very long. They're still working, but they're definitely not tip-top. So I'll fly these 4 batteries today. I'm going to try and not make it too long because I know long videos nobody really wants to watch. But if you do want to watch long videos, let me know. I can easily make videos that are up to 20 minutes, but probably nobody's going to watch those, right? Of course, I forgot to start the GoPro. I always forget to start the GoPro. Okay, GoPro's recording. Let's try again. Been flying that 5-inch lately, and man, it has so much power. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't get used to that pull-out power, because this 4S batteries, they definitely don't have as much power as the 6S does. I know I talked about converting this one to 6S. Anybody think that's worth the effort? I mean, that would probably be worth the effort, right? So many little holes to circle through. One of the things that surprised me about 5-inch versus this little 3.5 Cinewhoop is how much quieter the 5-inch is. Like, you get a ton of more power, which you don't get more. Jesus, barely talk. You don't get more sound, which is really interesting. It'd be perfect if a train came right now. So windy, wow. Yeah, we're losing signal. Don't lose it, don't lose it. Woo! Almost lost it right there. We'll see on the GoPro what that looks like, but I like this ProTek35. It's fun for outdoors, but I kind of think it's a little too big for indoors. I flew it inside the other day, and it was terrifying. It was so scary. I don't know if it just felt too big, but I was so concerned about like running into things, and it's a little large for that kind of stuff. It's cool for like flying around, maybe mountain bikers or things like that, but I don't know, I just think it's a little large for inside. If y'all run drones inside, what do you run? Are you running something like a, I forget what they're called, little white Beta FPV ones, or maybe like a Cinebot 30, something like that? Go through this again. 3.5, almost time. And there's the low battery. So as you can see, this is a pretty cool spot. Lots of little trusses, things to fly through. It is kind of high consequence because if I hit anything and it just falls out of the air, it falls into the water, which would suck. That would really suck. But, you know, just be careful. Round 2, let's get it. I hear a car coming behind me. I'm gonna wait for them. Maybe not. Maybe that was in front of me. So like I said, this is a really high consequence spot because if I do anything wrong, the drone lands in this water down here, this beautiful water. So I'm not going to try anything too crazy. I'm just going to fly around, explore these holes. Here, which would be good. This feels like a really old bridge. It makes me wonder how old it is. Like these rivets and everything, it's kind of a older style. And trains definitely come here. We can hear them from where we're staying at night. They always come at night for some reason instead of during the day, otherwise I'd be flying around them. Then again, I think NERC got a super heavy fine for flying around trains. As I recall, he said it was like enough that you could buy a small car with it, which is, that's crazy. I'm not going to do anything that crazy. What do y'all think? Would y'all fly a 5-inch around here? Or maybe something a little more protected? These small center whoops are so good for getting close to stuff. It builds a lot of trust in your craft. Which I'm sure the same comes along with the 5-inch eventually, but you can just kind of bump into things with these. Tiny little holes. Let's explore this. We still have good signal. This thing absolutely screams when it dives. It really doesn't like to dive at all. It kind of likes to just fly stable. Wow! Save it! That was close. See, if that had happened on the railroad bridge and I had gone into the water, yeah, that would have been no bueno. A 5-inch, I feel like you probably couldn't have saved that. That probably would have just tanked, right? Although a couple times I've bent props and I've seen them bent down and just bent them back into place. Like, I guess this works. It continues to fly, so I guess there's nothing wrong with that. .5 already, brand new battery. So next up, instead of the bridge, I'm gonna fly at this little park over here. There's a couple people there today, but I think they're probably canoeing, so let's bring it back in. Point right at me. Okay, we're finished up in this spot. I'll see you in the park. Okay, we're back. I had to hang out for a little bit to wait for a couple people to leave the park. I mean, theoretically I could have just flown it, but it kind of feels rude to, you know, fly around a bunch of people when it's like super loud. So I figured I'd let them leave first. They just left. So now we're gonna fly around here. Interestingly, there must have been a bunch of rain upstream or something because this area is really flooded. Typically the water is much lower than this, but it's flying really fast today. The ramp going down to the water is completely filled with just debris and stuff, so it's a little different than normally when I'm here. Still, I like the spot. There's lots of trees to fly through. It's really mellow flying, and right next to it is a big field, which is kind of cool for the 5-inch, but it's also kind of plain. There's not much stuff to do, but if you're practicing new things, a large open field is probably a good place to do it. Okay, we got video, nobody in sight. Let's go. Here we go, launch control is on. Launch control is pretty cool. There's like not any reason to use it, but still fun. Wow! Talk about a terrible takeoff, jeez. There we go. Okay, calm down. You can do it. You remember how to fly this thing. So as you can see, this is the river with the really swollen banks. This area right here, usually you can walk down it, it's just concrete covered. But today it's filled over with water. Tons of debris over here. I think this area floods pretty often. It just gets a ton of rain, and you know, I've spent years and years flooding. I normally like to fly through these railings. They're pretty small, but I don't want to get a bunch of mud and debris in the drone today. So we'll just fly around the trees. Don't think I've ever gone through here. Woo! Rough. This is a rough flight. It's like I've never flown before. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, right? It's strange that, you know, all of a sudden I can start flying terribly when I was flying so well around the bridge. The consequences may be just as high here too, because there's this huge swollen river, and if I lose the drone in there, there's no getting it back. Have y'all lost a drone before? I haven't lost one, thank God. It's just too much money. I try not to take too many chances with it. It's one thing to be out in a field, you know, where you might break something, but at least you can find it in the field. But losing it in the water would be such a bummer. Can you fit through here? Kind of. There's one thing I'll give to the ProTek is you can really take chances with it. You can just bump into all kinds of things, and it just kind of recovers. I've tried that with the 5-inch, and it doesn't really recover. You have to be pretty quick on it, and I don't know, a lot of times the prop bends or something like that. I say a lot of times. I've only flown it probably about 4 times. I'm really stoked to show you all that video though. I recorded the entire build process, and I really wish that I'd found a build video of the setup I was using. So there's a lot of great builds, like Troncat, I referenced his build videos a lot, but you can never find like the exact one because you're using different parts than everybody is. That's pretty sweet. Low battery already. That's quick. 4 minutes. There we go. Okay. Let's try that launch control again. I'm at a really shallow aperture, so you're probably not going to be able to see it. Here, I'll go like this before I shift. You see it? That's pretty cool, right? Don't fall off. Alright, I gotta take control. The GoPro, I forgot the GoPro. I always forget it. Okay, last battery. We're ending strong. This thing is so much slower than the 5-inch. It's hilarious. Granted, I set the camera angle pretty much, it's at maybe 5 degrees. I set it pretty low because I basically just do low speed maneuvers. There's no real reason for high speed maneuvers. Just flying around stuff, flying through things. So there's no real reason to go fast. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of a Cinewhoop to go fast, because like it doesn't really go that fast. You're asking it to do things that it wasn't really designed. It was designed to bump off of stuff and to fly through things confidently, not to fly fast. That's what the 5-inch is for. What do y'all think of this style, talking to the camera while I'm flying? I know a lot of people show their fingers, show what movements they're doing on the sticks, but I'm not really doing anything that interesting with my fingers. I feel like you can probably figure out what I'm doing, for the most part. Almost hit the truck. I kind of feel like talking to someone's face is a little more, I don't know, it's a little more engaging than just watching some random stick movements. Unless I'm doing just a complicated maneuver, I don't really get much out of the stick movements. Like, I want to hear people talk. I want to hear your opinion. Just talk about random stuff. I don't know. Bonk. Bonk! Uh-oh, I may have tilted the GoPro. See, we're at 3.6. I can't tell. The GoPro's tilted. I'm sorry, guys. These aren't meant to be perfect. They're just meant to be playing around. Do not litter or camp. How dare you camp? Well, I'm closing in on low voltage here. Let's make a couple more cool moves. Fly through some things. Let's see, can I see up here? Yep, I'm getting the low battery beat. And there we go. So it looks like I kind of hit the GoPro when I went under the truck. So the last little bit of footage probably isn't that cool. It's probably pointing way up in the air, but that's all right. It is what it is. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate the views, and I'll see you next time.